How good are you at composition? With the help of these three tests, you can evaluate your current skill level. At the same time, they will also help you develop and improve your skills. You are watching Code Like an Architect series with Adil Atta on Archi Wisdom. Test 3. Our company is starting a new project. We need to develop a game. It's a long-term project with multiple releases. Original requirements. Release 1.0. We have to develop a game. It has a character. The character can run, jump, and fire. When the character eats a mushroom, it jumps higher and fires faster. When the character is bitten by an animal, it jumps lower and fires slower again. Let's see how developers usually approach such programming problems. We need a flag has mushroom. Run method. Jump. If the character has eaten mushroom, then jump high, otherwise low. Fire. If has mushroom, fast, otherwise slow. In addition, we need eats mushroom and bitten by animal methods, which sets the value of has mushroom flag. Release 2.0. Now we have 5 fire levels and 5 jump levels. We no longer have mushrooms. Instead, we have separate rewards for fire and jump. Every time you receive a fire reward, your fire level increases by 1 step. Every time you receive a jump reward, only your jump level increases by 1 step. When you are bitten by an animal or hit a wall, you go down 1 step in both fire and jump levels. Now we have no mushrooms. Instead, we have separate rewards. Now we have 5 levels. Every time we receive a jump reward, the jump level increases by 1 step. Same for fire. We don't need eat mushroom method anymore. Instead, we need a get reward method. When we receive a fire reward, the fire level increases. And with the jump reward, the jump level increases. However, if bitten by animal, both levels decrease by 1. Release 3.0. We are introducing 100 new firing options. And now you can choose your own fire styles. This means we now have not just 5 but 100 types of firing styles available. And players can choose any 5 styles of their choice. What should we do now? Adjusting this into the current class seems challenging. We need to implement the logic of 100 firing styles. In addition, we have to provide the user with the option to dynamically choose any 5 of them. How can we implement this functionality of choosing the fire styles dynamically? Any ideas how to handle this? Even if we manage to implement this, the class will become very complicated. And since this area is constantly evolving, imagine how burdensome it will be to accommodate future requirements. The code will become increasingly difficult and hard to manage. Question: how did we end up in this situation? What have we done wrong? What are we missing? Composition. We are not breaking down our problems into smaller problems. We are not thinking in components. We will have to go back and take a different approach. Let's start again, but this time we will think in components. What components do we have? We have a character. Then we have some abilities. Run ability, jump ability, fire ability. We have 2 types of jump abilities: low jump ability and high jump ability. Similarly, we have 2 types of fire abilities: slow fire ability and fast fire ability. Most developers don't break down their problems into components, and even those who do often focus solely on modeling real-life objects. However, programming has its own specific needs. In real life, run ability, jump ability, and fire ability are not separate objects. But in our case, it makes perfect sense to design them as separate objects. We also have some events and consequences of those events. If needed, we can create objects for them as well. Let's do some decision making. We will create a character class. Since we have two types of jump and fire abilities, and more abilities may be added in the future, it's better to create separate classes for each ability. Keeping them separate will make it easier to develop and maintain these abilities. Right now, we only have one type of running. But if we create a separate class for the run ability as well, it will give us more flexibility and keep the code maintainable. Now let's think about events and consequences. Currently, we have very simple requirements of events and their consequences. Therefore, we don't need to create separate objects for them at this point. Let's implement them as simple methods in character class for now. So this is our final design. Let's implement this. First, we will create some interfaces for these abilities. Then we will create each ability one by one. Low jump ability, high jump ability, basic run ability, slow fire ability, fast fire ability. Next, we will implement the character class. We will start by adding attributes for these three abilities and assign them default ability values. When the character gets a mushroom, their jump ability will change to high jump ability, and their fire ability will switch to fast fire ability. If the character is bitten by an animal, their jump ability will revert to low jump ability, and their fire ability will return to slow fire ability. Run. Run ability dot run. Jump. Jump ability dot jump. Fire. Fire ability dot fire. Our implementations for run, jump, and fire is very simple. Based on the values in the variables, the right ability will be called. Release 2.0. Now we have 5 fire levels and 5 jump levels. We no longer have mushrooms. Instead, we have separate rewards for fire and jump. Every time you receive a fire reward, your fire level increases by 1 step. And every time you receive a jump reward, your jump level increases by 1 step. When you are bitten by an animal or hit a wall, you go down 1 step in both fire and jump levels. What components do we have now? Now we have not just 2, but 5 types of jump and fire abilities. In addition, in this new requirements, we have a concept of ability levels. To handle this, we will create a new component, the level manager. By dividing our logic into separate components like this, instead of implementing everything in a single class, we introduce numerous advantages to our code. That's how it looks. Let's implement this. Series 3.0, we are introducing 100 new firing options. And now you can choose your own fire styles. First, let's set the 100 new fire styles or abilities in the system. Now you can choose your own fire styles. This means that user can choose any 5 fire abilities from the available options. How can we do this? To implement this, we just need to introduce another constructor that accepts the chosen abilities as input. That's it. We are done. Composition brings architectural powers to programming. Developing expertise in composition definitely takes your programming to another level.